Hey guys, Grant here from dropshipsocial.com. Today I'm going to talk about selling in multiple countries with the same store. Okay, let's dive in. Right, so there's a number of reasons why you might want to sell in multiple countries. Obviously you have different customers, different places, and you want to sell in those different countries with the same store. However, the problem is, and some of you have asked us about this, is you want to pay in that country's own currency, and Shopify only allows you to pay in the location of that store. So for instance, if I'm here in Australia and I have an Australian store, the actual payments get processed in Australian dollars. Now there are apps to do conversions, so you can convert currencies so that it'll show the customer what the price is in their currency, etc., and that is helpful. But when it comes down to the actual processing of the payment at the end, it gets processed in Australian dollars, and that may be off-putting to some people. So it is best to have it in the native currency, and that's what I'm going to get at today. I'll put a link in the description below about, from Shopify for an article that they've done, and it's very in depth. I'll just go over it briefly, what it says in it now. I've been on the phone to Shopify about this yesterday, and they've given me the rundown, but I'll give you a brief overview of how they suggest it's done. So usually what they suggest is you'll have two installations of Shopify. So one will be, for instance, if I want to sell in the USA and I want to sell here with the same store, it actually is two separate installations. So it'll be the American and then the Australian version of it. It can be on the same domain, but with a subdomain for the US or the Australian, whichever way it goes, or it can be a separate domain. And now how that works is, when a customer comes to the site, you put an app in there that actually detects where the customer's coming from, and it suggests to them, oh, I can see you're in the USA. Would you like to visit the USA store as opposed to the Australian version? And it sends them through that way. Then as they go through the payment process, the actual currency is in their native currency, which is far beneficial because they trust it more and they're more comfortable paying in their native currency. And another major reason you might want to do this is having multiple suppliers. So you can have suppliers obviously in the US or in Australia, and this is going to cut down the shipping times for each of those customers as well. So for your Australian side of it, you'll have Australian suppliers, which obviously they'll ship within about 2 to 3 days, and then the flip side, it's the same in the US. So you'll have different suppliers there, and which will fulfill the orders in the USA for that side of the site. So that's a massive benefit for the customer as well, because the wait time obviously and the cost of shipping. So that's the basic rundown of how that's done and how Shopify have explained it to me. And yeah, it's more in depth than that obviously, and in the article below, if you read that, there's a lot more information in it about the actual details of how that is done. But that's the general process of how you sell in multiple countries with the native currency in the payment process. So, I hope you got some value out of that. And yeah, I'm going to get back to my walk from the beach, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. So don't forget to like the video if you're getting some value, and subscribe. And as always, come over to dropshipsocial.com and join our conversation there.